Fala pessoal, série Fundadores mais uma vez por aqui, como vocês sabem, toda terça-feira no site do Valor e nas redes sociais, falando as verdades sobre startups e empreendedorismo. Hoje eu estou com um convidado internacional que é o Ekechi da Migo. How does an engineer, a high-performance computer engineer, a guy who worked at NASA, comes to found a fintech?
Well, it's a long story. I was in big data services, working at a big internet cloud company, and I met my co-founder who was also doing big data research at Stanford. And we got together and decided to team up and build a big data company. But when we were looking for opportunities of what to actually solve, we discovered this big need in using the newest technologies of the day, big data, mobile, and cloud, and in particular artificial intelligence, to then assess credit risk for people who had not been able to access credit before. And we realized after looking at the space that there was this trillion-dollar opportunity in many, many countries, from Brazil to Nigeria to Indonesia to lots of places. And also because we both grew up in Nigeria, in our childhood, we both understood how big of a problem this really was in people's lives. And so both from a business opportunity and for our own personal motivation, we thought that that is where we should focus, that we should focus on finance. And so we decided to use our big data technology in assessing and delivering credit for people around the world.
How do you convince Silicon Valley VCs that you want to invest in emerging markets, starting from Nigeria?
Mais difícil. No, it's very difficult. It's particularly when we started the company, a lot of Silicon Valley investors were really not comfortable and didn't really understand the opportunities in places like Nigeria and Brazil. I think since then, there have been, particularly from Brazil, big success stories, Nubank, Stone, lots of other people who have done really well. And that has opened up, I think, the minds of some investors around the possibilities of investing in these emerging markets. Even today is still a challenge because I think investors in that part of the world think of these markets as risky. And so there's lots of other fantastic companies to invest in the US, and so they have to have a very good reason and motivation to invest. But now, I think for us, we've built up enough of a track record, and I think our business model and approach has convinced, quite a few investors that there is a problem to solve and something worth investing in.
Or your partner, your co-founder, had a management background. How do you start a company with that?
Yeah, it was difficult. I had a mentor who I met through some colleagues who had been CEO of like 3 companies, and he mentored me, advising me on how to start the business, how to think about the business.
You told me that winning trust or building trust was one of the most difficult parts for you in Nigeria and even here in Brazil, right? You have to cut deals, how to talk to people for years.
Yeah. So yeah, it is.
Is it because you're a foreigner, or?
I think my theory is that when you have countries like maybe Nigeria or Brazil or other places that may not be, I don't want to say as structured as a place like the US or the UK, but maybe a little less structured, people want to take a bit more time to get to know you and make sure that they are managing the risk of this investment of time and money or whatever. But no, it's really important to build the trust so that you can actually do the business. And people need to be confident that you are committed and that you are flexible and that you're open and that you understand what their needs are and what they're trying to solve. And so, particularly for us, because people have to share data with us, people have to get into these long-term contracts with us. Trust is very, very important.
When we talk about startups and engineering, technology seems to be the thing, right? Yeah. You have to have a great technology, and if you have that, everything is set. You become a unicorn and you win. Is that true?
No. Technology is less than half of the challenge. You need to deal with people. And if you're in finance, you need to deal with regulators. You need to deal with Banco Central. You need to get the trust of customers. You need to do what you promise when you say, when you promise to do it. All of these intangible things, you need to treat people with respect. You need to have some humility. These are all very important things which have nothing to do with technology and are very, very important, particularly in our business where it is a partnership-based business. And so, again, it's one of the lessons I learned early on that, being an engineer and having the best technology in the world will only get you half of the distance. You really need business skills and management skills to make it the rest of the way.
What's the biggest mistake so far with Migo?
I would say probably mistakes in hiring. I would say two things: mistakes in hiring and also waiting too long to hire the people that I might have needed because I was inexperienced. I am inexperienced still. And couldn't see ahead that I was really going to need these people 6 months or a year. And so you've had to hire for those people now because it takes them 6 months to ramp up and to be productive in the company.
What would you do differently?
Hire faster. And hire more senior people faster.
More senior people. That's one thing with startups, right? You don't have the money to buy to hire senior people, but at the same time, you can't live with junior talent, right?
No, you can't. I mean, if I had to do it over again, I mean, I've learned how to be a CEO, but if I had to start over again, I would have hired a business guy on day one. I would have had that guy, and we would have moved faster. Even if you don't have the money, I would have gotten one key senior person and then have them at least hire a team under them because, one person literally cannot do everything. When I started the company, I was answering the customer service. I was cleaning the toilets. I was writing code. I was writing the business plans, the finance. I was doing the accounting, everything by myself. And I, just wasn't healthy. So now it's a bit better.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.